Muy buenas a todos, chicos, ¿qué tal estáis? Bienvenidos un día más al canal. Y vamos al salón escarlata del primer piso, que nos habían puesto la cena, además habían dicho que teníamos que ir sí o sí.
If I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests. Might be better to take a different stairway. That must be the door to the room of the soldier I saw in my vision.
Tengo que subir el engaño, tío, para muchas cosas, Debería subir el engaño, macho.
The quorum guide.
Hay 3 escaleras, ¿no?
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault, too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Home.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious. I'm not worried about Jacques Peru.
You didn't happen to lose this, did you?
Where did you find it?
In the small salon.
It's the only reminder I have of my beloved sister. I thought that swine stole it from me. You're her son. Sarah de Richet's son.
Yes, why?
Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, but speaking frankly, why would you care?
I know your mother very well.
¿Todo el mundo conoce?
Really?
Yes, I have been in your mother's care ever since I was born.
Raudo. En observación un punto.
Nursed you.
Oh, I wouldn't say nursed. No, I remember her stare, cold as ice. Her sadistic hands pressing over my mouth to silence me while I screamed in pain. I remember her knees, too. She held me down with them while she cut and burned scars into me.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
You can ask her when you see her.
¿Qué?
She's getting more and more agitated.
And next you're going to tell me my mother's also responsible for that scar on your head?
My heart stopped twice during the operation. I lost my memory for 6 months. You obviously have no idea of the abuse your mother inflicted on me.
Wait. There must be some kind of mistake.
My only mistake was ever meeting your mother.
She's able to describe every detail without hesitation or getting flustered. It's becoming difficult not to believe the poor girl.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
You're right. I don't want this conversation to turn into an interrogation. You've suffered enough already. I respect your silence. Please excuse me.
Lo hemos hecho bien. Inquisición.
Well, thank you. I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Haven't you got a sister?
Yes.
I'm sure she loves you with all her heart.
She's the only one who cares about me. I would have put an end to it all by now if it weren't for her. Since you insist, I'll tell you how I met your mother.
Thanks for trusting me.
You see, before I was born, my mother often suffered from hallucinations and fits of anger. Soon people could barely recognize her. She became a completely different person. So my father spent an enormous amount of money paying for the best doctors, but none of them were able to cure her. The last resort was to call a priest.
So, is that what your father did?
No. He went to an expert in the occult.
Mi madre.
Ah, my mother.
Her reputation already extended beyond our borders. My mother's fits stopped at my birth, and Sarah de Richet concluded that the evil had passed into me. Not only did it encourage her to stay, but she took the opportunity to advise my father to separate me from the rest of my family. That's how I was declared stillborn. My fate was decided that very day.
It would coincide with my mother's frequent trips to America.
I had my first fit when I was 3. That's when your mother began her experiments to rid me of the evil inside.
I understand how you feel, but I know my mother. I'm sure she had her reasons, even if it seems difficult to believe.
Everything she put me through was all for nothing. My whole life was ruined for nothing.
So what brings you here then?
My father used to know Sir Holm. He offered to introduce me to the world's leading authority in the occult.
Lord Mortimer.
He was my last hope. Until I found out he had also invited your mother.
It's got to be a coincidence. I don't believe for a second she's come here for you.
You can't change my mind about this, Louis. My days are numbered, and I know it.
Hostia. Esto sí que no me lo esperaba.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
My good fellow, would you have any amber available?
I would, but unfortunately, I don't think I am authorized to give it out, sir. I believe it is a precious stone.
I still haven't quite recovered after that boat crossing. Would you happen to have any devil's thorn by any chance?
I am sorry, sir, but the devil's thorn may be just a
Joder, qué
plant,
pesado,
but
tío.
it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against, sir, taking any.
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
I would like to speak about your master, Lord Mortimer.
Do please excuse me, sir, but I shall make no comment about my master. Is there anything else that sir would like to know?
What can you tell me about the guests?
Do excuse me, sir, but I am bound by discretion to say
Joder.
nothing about Lord Mortimer's guests, sir. Perhaps sir would like to know something else?
Yes. Can you briefly describe the ground floor, please?
Very well, sir. On the ground floor, there are mainly living rooms. Sir finds himself at present in the Grand Hall. From the Grand Hall, sir can access, on one side, the small salon, where the guests like to relax with a good book. From there, Sir can access the conference room, which is closed at present for preparations. That is where Lord Mortimer likes to gather all of his guests for talks. From the other side of the Grand Hall, Sir may access the dining room. That is where Sir's meals will be served. From the dining room, Sir may benefit from an exceptional view overlooking the island. It is also the best way to access the portrait gallery, where a large part of Lord Mortimer's works are exhibited. And in the gallery, Sir will also find access to the garden. But Sir may be reassured the building is accessible on both sides, so that it surrounds the garden in question. So, Sir should not find cause to worry. No one has ever gotten lost.
Except for my mother.
Has Sir another question?
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
What? That's the last straw. Lord Mortimer himself asked me to take the sea to join him here. I accepted out of kindness.
Ojito, Inquisición.
The voyage was undertaken in conditions that I prefer not speak about. And then at long last I arrive and you refuse me a simple flask of Carmelite water?
No, sir. I...
Your name. Tell me your name.
Here, sir, your Carmelite water. Please accept my sincerest apologies. If Sir requires anything else whatsoever, Sir has only to ask.
Creía que se iba a ir a por ello.
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend Sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Indeed, this masterpiece must not become more damaged. Let me have it and I'll take care of it personally. I love antiquarian books.
It bothers me somewhat. It isn't Sir's job to take care of it, really.
No, but I would love to. You'll be doing me a favor by letting me have it.
Anda.
In that case, sir, I shall leave it in your care with pleasure. May I do anything else for Sir?
Flipa las vistas que hay, ¿eh?
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short.
¿Qué hambre me está dando?
Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
As for myself, I did not know.
Who does not know a person?
Peru looks totally out of place here. He's counting the 10 sets of cutlery around each plate? The man is completely lost.
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the king's table. I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A Sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mention that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
My lord, I only know the prestige of your name. Might I have the honor of getting to know you a little better?
You are Monsieur
Louis Moras de Richet.
de Richet. De Richet. A name with a nobiliary particle. Are you descended from a noble line?
The presence of a particle does not necessarily mean a person belongs to the nobility, nor does it prevent the observance of the rules of etiquette, Monsieur von Volner.
What do you want to know?
Me ha drogado Napoleón.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
What do you think, madam? What is this Bonaparte doing here?
The presence of a soldier is never a good sign. It can only mean there's going to be further war. To answer your question, I only know that his family were in favor of the revolution, and that it almost cost them their lives.
Thank you, that's helpful.
That's right. See,
Monsieur de Richet, it would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
surely not. Of course.
¿Qué mismos intereses, tío?
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis.
I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
¿Qué?
You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
Por eso me ha llamado a lo mejor,
appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannon.
I've only just taken over the affair.
The agreement will be considered null and void until we've gone through it together. Is that clear?
All right. You
De aquí le voy... Protocolo.
know what you're doing. I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I. And I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what... do you think it would take to restore its luster?
It is remarkable.
Let the people make their own choices.
You are joking, I hope. The people are simply not capable of taking charge, don't you see? They are an uneducated mob who react on the spur of the moment, incapable of providing a coherent vision for the good of the country.
The revolution was a good thing, but it gave birth to a monster. We must overthrow the new system in place.
Ah, you are right. Monsieur de Richet, I am reassured. I am very happy to have met you. Lord Mortimer was right to put his...
Legítimo. Pues no hay cosa aquí, ¿no?
in you. I hope to work with you in the very near future. I would like to thank you for your support by offering you this humble little gift.
Reflections on the Revolution in France.
Que es otro librito que tenemos.
Mr. Bonaparte, I thank you for this gesture, and please know that I, too, am delighted to have met you.
My friends, I would like to say a few words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer, and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from them. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is imminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington.
Washington is a very gifted speaker. Leave him for 5 minutes with sworn enemies and he'll convince them to be friends for life.
Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
Pero he manchado fragmentos ya. No, no he podido registrarla porque necesitaba cosas. Pues está a punto de subir de nivel, tío.
All right, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother's message. I've got to find the place where all eyes size you up.
Vamos a ponernos este.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
Necesito una llave triple. No tengo. Ah, mira. Ya puedo abrir esto.
All right. I've retrieved everything. Circe. Amber crystals.
Llave con símbolo de la tierra. Llave con símbolo.
Dining on ham. Well, that's very appetizing.
Ahora hablamos con el señor cura. Bueno, vamos a hablar con él y luego nos vamos al otro lado.
Well, Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, this sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless, what a charming moment we have had together. I'm delighted I was able to talk to Mr. von Wollner. We hadn't spoken to each other for an eternity.
Yes. I noticed that Your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer's. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte have already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son.
Oof.
But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
Un poquito.
To
No,
tell
pero
you
bueno.
the truth, not
No.
really.
You are right. Be positive. Perhaps Sarah is in the company of Lord Mortimer, and they will both turn up shortly.
But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
If I said to you, where all eyes size you up, would it mean anything to you?
I don't know if it's the place you're looking for, Louis, but it makes me think of the portrait gallery.
There's a gallery here? Can you tell me where to find it, please?
Of course. Just go through the door at the end. It will lead into the library. Continue all the way through, and you'll end up in the gallery. You'll see it, Louis. When you get there, you'll know.
Thank you very much, Your Eminence. On that last word, then, I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
Entendido, entendido. Esto es la biblioteca. LOL, qué bonito.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. A few pages out of an old encyclopedia.
Mamma mía, pues no es difícil esto. Aquí hay mazo de cosas. Bueno, tendremos que dar una buena vuelta buscando.
Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of. And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should we go and try to find the creature now?
Pues puede ser. Pero lo sabremos, chicos, en el próximo episodio. Espero que os haya gustado y nos vemos.